Namaste, soul family. So to close off Pluto's retrograde in Capricorn, I want to delve deep into some dark, toxic issues that have been plaguing society, the human collective, for a long time. And I was privileged with the um, responsibility of speaking on the issues that nobody wants to talk about, wants to speak on, okay? But people are experiencing these, issues, some beknownst to them, some unbeknownst to them. And these are deep core truths, okay? Rotten feelings, okay? Um, a lot of buried, destructive frequencies, okay? And these, they ripple into our subconscious and they cause, mental illnesses like PTSD specific. Okay, that specific mental illness I really want to delve into, because a lot of times, and that's the abbreviation for the acronym post traumatic stress disorder. And Pluto also is that emotion that is jealousy. And so we've been seeing a lot, me especially, I've been observing a lot of this making its way to the surface um, for years now, but specifically since I've had my Saturn return. And I've been, really seeing the evidence of this since Pluto's retrograde in Capricorn, April 27. And so these include, truths, deep truths about the workforce, your workplace, um, your Saturn cycles experiences, dealing with people, dealing with yourself, as well as, bloodlines, your, relatives. Like I told y'all, your relatives, once you're 18 years or older, your family is pretty much you and your descendants, okay, along with your spouse or your partner. It's not your mama, it's not your dada, it's not your sisters, it's not your brothers, it's not your nieces or your nephews. Those are your relatives, okay? All right, so the bloodline, that's, the family you came from, but that's not your family, okay? That's only for those who are below the age of 18 years, okay? But the bloodline, that those are your relatives or the family system that you came from within this lifetime, because we come from different family structures and systems in different lifetimes, okay? What is important, that's why I always tell people what's important is spirit, your spirit family, your soul tribe, okay? Because these are people who they really authentically, spiritually, frequency wise, are your family members, okay? You resonate with them, they resonate with you. There's no way, two ways around that, okay? You can live with these people, you can cohabit with these people, you share a dwelling with these people, okay? And you understand them, okay? They may come off as weird, aloof to the public, but they're not weird to you. And that's because you vibrate at at a similar frequency. You exude similar energies. A lot of um, cruel, hidden, hate, hateful frequencies, like people who hated you for years, unbeknownst to you, you're really realizing that, hey, these people, they really hate me. As well as curses, family curses, okay? Family karmas, okay? People you didn't know were criminals and thieves, that's making its way to the subconscious and the surface now. Deceitful people, that's coming to the surface now, okay? Toxic people, okay? All of that's coming to the surface. Okay. So what I wanted to talk about in regards to all of what I just said, Pluto retrograding in Capricorn, yeah, is taking a closer look and seeing things for what they really are. Seeing your enemies and your foes. And I was actually led to make a video about, you know, secret foes who are enemies, and open enemies who are foes. Um, go all the way down to my April May videos and you'll see that them videos. Okay, they're two separate videos because they're, you know, those similar, different entities, different energies, I should say. Now a lot of people don't realize, as well as secret inheritances, people stealing people's inheritances, like someone, they passed away and they left you, uh, they your name was in their will, people hiding that money. A lot of that is coming to the surface. Yeah, a lot of that, as well as a lot of as well, most people, if someone died and left their name, left you in their will during April to this point, well, let me just say, during the Pluto in Capricorn transit, the Pluto retrograding in Capricorn transit, chances are these people, you don't even know about it. Let me just say that. Chances are a lot of you have inheritances out there that you are unaware of. Because a lot of people, we're all in our shadow frequencies, okay? We have been in our shadow frequencies, okay? Some really horribly, some not so bad, because some of us, we do have way more self-control, okay? So it's as though we don't really have a shadow self. And it's as though some people, you know, they don't have a higher self because they're shady all the time. It's just that the retrograde, Pluto retrograding in Capricorn, they you know, it was like shadiness 2.0 or 4.0. Okay? They were really in their energies of jealousy and hatred and, you know, their criminalistic acts and just being deceitful and evil. 4.0, and that's what the retrograde in Capricorn um, exuded. You know, Pluto's retrograding in Capricorn. Pluto's retrograding in Capricorn. So I want to talk about a lot of people. You know, to be a mother, you have to really vibrate, tap into that Cancer frequency, which is love. You know, nurturing, compassion, you know, being very compassionate and nurturing and caring and loving and selfless. Because the opposite of that frequency is Capricorn, which Capricorns can be very selfish, okay, at times, okay? But cancers are very selfless, okay? And that is what it means to be a mother. You don't tit for tat your children. You don't compete against your children. And there's a lot of that taking place. And that's why there's much healing, because people, they disregard the Cancer frequency, what it means to be a mother. It's not about buying vain things for your children. It's not about surrounding them with a lot of vanity. It's not about, you know, throwing at them a lot of vain things. What children need most of all is love, and parents who are present in their lives. And a lot of children, they grow up very detached emotionally and even become sociopaths, psychopaths, because of absentee mothers. Okay? And we can see, you know, the more people they seemingly accumulate more wealth and money, is the more emotionally detached people become. And people think that the most important thing is to get the money, but that's not the most important thing. And which is why we're here in this 12-year cycle, perplexed by a lot of ailments, sicknesses, pandemics, isolations, quarantines, curfews, because there's no love. And love is freedom also. It's freedom to move, to travel. Cancer frequency. Capricorn frequency is bondage. It weighs you down and it keeps you stuck one place. So everything has its pros and its cons. Okay? But you have mothers who they disregard the Cancer frequency of being true mothers, being present in their children's lives, and just loving them, just surrounding them with love, just being there. They disregard that role to chase after the dough. And what I've always believed, ever since I became a mother, but even before then, I always believed that there should always be at least one parent in the home, at home, at all times, with the children, or there for the children. Because I'm not talking about grandparents, okay? Extended family members. That's no substitute for your offsprings, for your descendants, okay? Unless, you can't do better, okay? But as long as you can, and there's a possible way to be there for your children. And yeah, it was good. The adult suffrage movement, that was good for women fighting to be able to do whatever they want. But we gotta remember balance, okay? And whilst you got freedom, you still have to be balanced with that freedom, and still remember your role and play your role in a very conscious and loving and grateful way. Be grateful. Be grateful for love. Be grateful for being able to produce, reproduce, to extend life, to procreate, to be able to extend your generation. Be grateful for that gift, because it is a gift. Yeah, be grateful for that gift, because it is a gift. Okay? And a lot of people, a lot of mothers, they don't appreciate, you know, that being able to reproduce is a gift. They don't see it as a gift, and they don't appreciate the ability to. And that is why that gift is going to be taken away from so many women. That gift, that privilege is going to be taken away. And children, they bring so much joy to the world, and the world has really, really neglected the children and their purposes and their frequencies. They bring such joy. It's not amusing or entertaining for grown people to act like children. Let the children act like children. Let them be children, and let them help to heal the world, because their frequencies too are necessary. Everything is important, but on a balanced scale. I'm not putting down any frequency, but the world has seemingly neglected certain frequencies, such as a child's frequencies and a mother's frequency. Okay? And so we have a lot of children too who have been abused, maybe not physically, that too, but in so many other ways, from being reared by jealous, competitive mothers. And believe it or not, it is not every woman that possesses, not every woman possesses the capability to love. And that's what I've been talking about. Because some of them, they love money, they love to work, They're that Capricorn frequency, but they don't love to nurture. They don't love being mothers. And some of them, their excuse to leave the family home will always be to make money. It's just an excuse for some. No offense, but it's the truth. You know where your priorities lie based on the decisions you make. And like I said, some of these children, they grow up to become sociopaths, psychopaths. I've seen this. Because they can't give to the world what they never received. I'm not talking about receiving love from their grandmas or grandpas or aunts or uncles. That's a different connection, and those are different frequencies. You can only get that Cancer frequency from your mother. That's the truth. You can't get it from a guardian. You can't get it from a grandparent. You can't get it from aunts or uncles. Only your mama. And the most crucial ages for a child to receive that love is 1 to 7 years. That's a cycle. Once they've gotten that love from 1 to 7 years old, it doesn't really matter what happens after that. Nobody can break that bond that child has developed with their mother. And that too is why it's also very important for mothers to be present to breastfeed their children, because that creates an unbreakable, invincible bond. It doesn't matter what anybody say to your child about you. It doesn't matter what anybody does to them. They will always have love. They will always be nurturing and caring. They will always be wholesome, and they'll always love you. You don't wait until these children are grown, then you want to nurture them and love them. That's way too old. That's after the horse has gone through the gate. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, they say, figuratively. But I've actually seen it. I've been a victim of this, and that's why I can speak about this. And I can speak about it because it's an aspect, and that's why it has been a life experience. Because I'm supposed to talk about it, unveil it, because I've experienced it. So you have mothers who try to deprive not just their daughters but their sons of their dreams and goals and aspirations, who try to hinder their children from living life to their fullest. And sometimes this is because they feel like they didn't do enough with their life. They feel like they made terrible decisions. Say, for example, you're a star, you're an influencer, you draw a crowd, you're a celebrity, you're an entertainer, you're a star. They wish they made certain decisions that you made to get you to where you're going, but that's your north node. It's not about, your decisions are based off of your natal aspects. But what they should do is accept their role as a Cancer frequency and nurture and support you rather than compete against you. I've come across partners in a similar situation. That's because I too um, am in that situation. Okay, and then you also have the truth is a lot of these mothers, they're mentally deranged. They It's so hard to say someone doesn't know right from wrong, but like I was saying, some people, they don't have a higher self. They can't understand spirituality. They can't come to grasp that they're spiritual beings having human experiences, and a lot of times this is because of what they did in their past life. So you look at sometimes these people, their south nodes. Do they got a south node of Scorpio? That doesn't mean necessarily they were cruel, but they maybe were, and they're forced to be in a certain situation in this lifetime, and the only way they can be freed from that is to learn compassion and to learn that Cancer frequency and to be in that Cancer frequency. So a lot of times they're actually suffering for things they did in a past incarnation. Okay? And that's why they're stuck in a certain role, playing a certain role, and they cannot, believe it or not, some people, they cannot ascend or transcend past a certain frequency because they're not supposed to.
Good morning. Some son me come for where son them kid.